All right, we got our third set down, and our New Year's Eve show is completely made up now. It felt a bit like, even though it was a New Year's Eve makeup, the third set had a bit of a festival feel to it. I don't know, maybe it was just lacking the traditional New Year's Eve music. We weren't ringing in the new year. It was indoor, had the theatrics, but I don't know, something about that third set just had a bit of a festival third set feel to it. I don't know if anybody else had that feeling or not. I'm at home, you were there, whatever. Let's get going. Where are we going to go with? The first set here? Let's start with the first set, I guess. Even though that feels like ages ago, Everything's Right was the opener tonight, and just like about everything anymore now, it has a bit of a jam to it, and then, but then really we get going with Tube. Mike feeling it on the Tube jam. And, like it just had a little bit more of that sexy Mike sound, just that bouncy boom, 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 boom. You know when Mike's really getting it going. It's like he goes over there and steps on something. I don't know what number it is. Number 17. When Mike hits 17, it's time to get down. Trey rewards him with a 555. And a bit of a theme tonight we're going to feel here, a very good 555. Going back several years now, 555, I felt like maybe, while it wasn't a fan favorite, I felt like night in and night out, man. It was one of the best songs each night. It delivered. But then it's taken a bit of a step back, not as regularly played in the rotation, and tonight comes back with a big comeback. And Back on the Train after that, again, a song going back. I would say almost the same exact thing. Go back a few years, and then we get post-pandemic. I think Back on the Train was a bit of a long hauler. They just couldn't quite nail it. Always still good. Even a bad Back on the Train is still good. And this one was not a bad Back on the Train. Probably the best one this decade. And, that's not really saying much. And then Army of One, Paige McConnell getting involved here on the vocals with Army of One. And then Axilla II. Look at this now. Is this going to be the new thing? We got an Axilla III a while back. Now we get an Axilla II. And then Bathtub Gin. Oh, man. It got wooed. And it ruined the Bathtub Gin. Trey was calling for the woos, but then when he got the woos, I think he was partially embarrassed, He was like, oh, damn it, why'd I go and do that? I know that feeling. Every now and then I try to be funny here on YouTube, and I just know it. Oh, that was stupid. That wasn't funny. I just feel it, and you instantly regret it. The shame kicks in. I think that's what was going on with this Bathtub Gin. Trey called for the woos, and then just completely melted down. The gin really kind of sucked for a gin. All right, it didn't suck. That's going a little far. But instead of woo, by the end I was booing. Okay, I wasn't booing either. I'm pretty much just totally full of shit. But it wasn't a very good gin, and I'm blaming the woos. That's the bottom line. We get to Say It To Me, Santos, ending the set. Better than Julius. Then Set Your Soul Free, starting out the second set. And again, much like last night, we get one of these Trey guitar duels with himself there. I like that sound. I like it. I don't know what's really going on with that. And then Light, kind of like 555 and Back on the Train. Light was a song that would just tear it up every time. Again, maybe not necessarily a fan favorite. I think you'd get some groans with Light. Didn't ever quite understand that. But then Light, I guess, at this point, has just sort of been a little bit of a transition. After the big jamming in the second set has happened, they'll hit you with Light for a few minutes just to coast to the end of the show. Not the case tonight in this sort of an abbreviated set. I feel like each set was maybe cut 5 or 10 minutes short. That's probably not true. Every time I say something like that, then I immediately am like, I don't know about that. The last set was about an hour. That much I know. That much I know. That much I know. Then we got a Fuego after Light. You see, Light, Fire. Okay, I like that. And then What's the Use? Last night, everybody politely quieted down, let them do their things, and to the man who stepped into yesterday, not a chance tonight, and What's the Use? They tried, and then the Chomper activity really got off the charts. I've been trying to take it easy on Chompers, but really let us all down during What's the Use tonight. And the whistling, what are you whistling for? Are you going to go home and download it on Live Phish and be like, hey, that was my whistle, did you hear that? That real quiet part that me and 8,000 other people disturbed with whistles. I don't know. I just don't understand the whistling. I think that is their thought, right? They're going to be like, I'm going to hear myself on the Live Phish recording. Well, I don't know how you're going to tell your whistle from the other guy's whistle, that lady's whistle. And then we got a number line to end the set. Trey gives a shout out to Bella. I don't know who the fuck Bella is. I guess he's just shouting out random people at this point. Last night it was Susie Greenberg. At least she's a real person. And then we get over to the third set. Hold on, time out. I know who Bella is. I just didn't want to come off like a creepo stalker like a lot of you do, all right? Happy birthday, Bella. And then we get over to the third set. And it was a little weird. It was like, all right, it's going to be another one of these things. Definitely not made for Couch Tour. You know, these type of things that they've done here recently with the New Year's Eve shows, made for being there. And then, look, if you get it on Couch Tour, it's a little bit of a bonus. But they kind of nailed it when it got to the Dolphins and Whales. You know, they're kind of raised up. There's like this projection screen with things going on. They open up with free, and then you could kind of briefly see the word free show up in the screen. It's almost like a pyramid shape, but then a flat top on the pyramid. They were elevated there. Luckily, everybody got down to ground level. Everything was okay by the end of it. So free, they carried that with free. And then Wave of Hope was what played what would be the traditional, you know, ringing in the new year. And then once we get into Waves is really when it got pretty cool. They bring in, there's those like dolphins swimming around the arena. There's a big giant blue whale swimming around the arena. And they really did a good job of looking like, you know, the way the lights were, kind of low, dark, but then a low blue. The dolphins and the whale, I mean, they really did look like they were swimming. It looked like you were watching some kind of nature documentary. And, you know, they got the underwater camera and they're following some fish or some whales or something around underneath, you know, down in the ocean. So that was very well done there. Even on TV, on the Couch Tour, that kind of came off. I was like, wow, look at those things, man. This stuff's really come a long way. Like, what is that? Is that a robot? Is that a drone? It's come a long way from the hot dog, you know, flying around the arena. These dolphins and whales, they looked like they were really swimming, you know. It seemed like, oh, wow, we're underwater here. I dig it, you know. And then Waves going along perfectly with it. Then they follow that up with Sand. Then they follow the sand up, and then slowly, you know, you're fading out of everything with the dolphins and the whales, you know, just when there's all of a sudden you notice they're gone. At least that's what happened to me. The sand is very cool, obviously getting the beach, the waves, the water, that whole feel there. And then Split Open and Melt comes in. Just, you know, Split Open and Melt's just this chaotic, crazy jam just about every time now. Then we get a bit of an encore as Melt's ending. You hear like, sounds like ice cracking, and it appeared like as the band was sinking, thought they were going to sink now below floor level. And it did. There was like bubbles coming up in the air. And again, like the footage you'll see on some ocean nature documentary, it looked like they were now deep, deep sea. It was really cool. And then they walked off stage. Right when we were down at the bottom of the ocean. At the bottom of the ocean. I thought maybe we'd get some talking heads. That'd have been cool. But they walk off stage, they come back, and they play It's Ice. You know, a little choppy start there to It's Ice. It was a little odd. It was like, all right, maybe this isn't as cool as I thought. Are they at the bottom of the ocean? Where'd the bubbles go? All of a sudden, it didn't look like you weren't watching a nature documentary anymore, and we got a choppy It's Ice to boot. So, let's end on a low note, huh? Why not? All right, guys. And we got a big donut. You know, what would be known, I guess, only as the Baker's Dozen donut. Oh, yeah, then there was some trippy rain coming down. Kind of similar to what they did a few years back with the New Year's show. The rain was cool. I think it was raining donuts at one point. Kind of nice. But then, yeah, you got the Baker's Dozen donut back there behind John Fishman. Did Fishman have a little mustache tonight? Couldn't really tell. Didn't get a whole lot of great shots of Fishman. But every now and then it'd be like, what's that fucking mustache, man? What is that? I don't know. You tell me, guys. You have to take a look. So overall, if we can now recap quickly, Tube was awesome, thanks to Mike Gordon, followed by a great. We probably got 555, Back on the Train, Light, probably best ones this decade. Gin, the worst of the decade. Left me booing. Okay, not really. But really, the woos fucked everything up, didn't they? I mean, people at this point, they know it. They just can't help themselves. They got a woo. Seemed like we had about 50% a woo factor, which makes sense. You know, you run into two Phish fans, one of them's going to be a fucking wooing chomper. Guaranteed, man. So, all right. Free was pretty cool. Wave of Hope. I don't know about Wave of Hope. I don't know how that's any to crowbar that crap in there on us for the midnight song. Waves was awesome. The visuals were awesome. The visuals, man. Got visuals, dude. And then there was Sand and Melt. Great songs. Back on the Train was awesome. Fuego. All right. Boom. We should have been out of here a long time ago. Thank you for watching. If you made it through the whole way, I appreciate it. And we got one more.